Happy Merry Super Christmas, y'all. Alrighty, my name is Chris, and it's time for part 5 of our video series going over sleep. So that's a mini Christmas tree sitting on my work table. So, in other news, today we're going to be looking at the Raglan sleeve and kind of going over that really briefly, nothing too deep. And then I want to tell you later on a little bit more about the new thing that's coming up. But can't give you too many details on it. It's not perfectly finished yet, but it should be very, very, very soon. Especially probably by the time you're watching this, it should be ready. So, I have a muslin here to show you, and then we'll be looking at these patterns and why they look so much different than the other ones. Okay, so basically, your Raglan sleeve pattern, and you can kind of see some of the structure behind it if you look at the pattern long enough. But anyway, basically what you do with the Raglan sleeve, you alter the armhole by lowering it a certain amount, and then you draw these slash lines. You know, you separate the top shoulder off, you add it to your sleeve. So this is what the sleeves end up looking like. I think the shaping is beautiful. I love the way it came out. So, and then it has a little bump here, which you don't really have to add if you don't want the little bump where the arm turns. It's not necessarily where the shoulder is. But anyway, and they fit together pretty much like that. And then, of course, this goes underneath your arm and combines with that other part. So that's basically how they fit together. And then you have your notches. There's a certain way that we plan the notches. It's very simple. We don't really just leave them where they are. We kind of reposition them and make sure they're in the same spot and stuff like that. And then we also cut out our, what do you call it? Our princess dart here on the front, because, you know, a lot of times the dart is really big, and I didn't feel like having us go back and through it every time. So I said, well, what the heck, let's just cut it out. And then I showed them how to cut it out. So pretty much we go through this whole ordeal on how to make a Raglan sleeve, and I think the total video length is maybe like 2.5 hours maybe. So in actual execution time, if you're familiar with patterns, it may only take you about 2.5 to 3 hours, to watch the videos and go through the tutorials and, actually do it at the same time. That's if you're fast. If you're a little slower like me and you have to take a little more time to think about it, it might take you about 4 hours, 4 or 5 hours to go through the whole thing. But you need to make sure you have plenty of paper, because we have to do some re-editing. I try to save us on paper a couple times in a couple different steps. So you'll see all of that in those videos. And what else? And then this is the muslin that came as a result of the what do you call it? Of the Raglan sleeve. This is the back that we're looking at now. And it actually is sewn together very wonderfully. I think this is one of the first times I have sewn a curve this smoothly. And it's really by, just taking my time, and then there's some other slightly more involved techniques that I show you in the video series for how to go through and make sure everything sews together well and everything looks really, really great when you finish. So that's the dart you were seeing, the inside of that dart, of this dart. And this is what it looks like on the front. This is the front. And here's that. Now, I don't know how avid of a fashion watcher you are. I love watching the new spring and the new fall shows as they come out. So, I was noticing after I did this, I was like, this kind of looks familiar. And there is actually a Balenciaga show. I found it. It's like 2008, spring, summer 2008 collection. They have Raglan-esque sleeves and stuff going throughout the garments, and I love that collection. That was one of my favorite collections. But anyway, they have all of that going on, and it kind of follows a similar shaping. They have quite a few differences and little extra things that they did to make it look really, really interesting. But and it's not so Raglan, but you can see, you know, kind of where the inspiration came and where they used Raglan sleeve throughout the design. So that's just a little extra for you. This is something that should be available within the next couple of days. Hopefully everything will be up by Monday. All of the videos are uploaded to the web. So now it just takes me going and putting it on the site, which really shouldn't take very long at all. So hopefully within the next day or so, most of that will be done, and it will be available for you to look at, especially in time for Black Friday, because that's coming up for Thanksgiving and stuff. So, but anyway, so there's the Raglan sleeve. Like I said, it's some work involved in it. It is not something that's simple. But definitely if you're a beginner and you want a challenge and you want to take yourself to that next level, you want some information that other beginners are not going to know how to do this when they first, you know, come running out of the gate into fashion school, you'll already have a very complicated concept under your belt already. So if you want to take that extra step in your fashion design, sewing and everything, and get this Raglan sleeve done, then you absolutely can do that, because this is gonna, it teaches you so much. It's surprising how when you go through patterns and you're making different patterns and you're combining patterns and separating patterns and going and making these really interesting new shapes, how it teaches you so many other things that you can use in your design process. So, and it gives you so many ideas. Like this would be really cute, like if we cut the sleeve maybe here and then pull this up like that and made this really high cap sleeve. So that's a very different way to do a cap sleeve. That would be very cute. And then also, what else? To take this and to make a seam line that goes like an armhole princess seam line, armhole princess seam line, but going into the Raglan design line. I think that would be really gorgeous. Or even to mimic this style line. So like this style line goes that direction, take this dart and also create another style line that kind of follows this. So you could even make it go up into the neck to give you an extra seam line there, or you could make it kind of go into a circle and make something that's kind of like 60s mod and have this interesting shape like that. So it's all up to you. It's whatever your imagination can do, you know, having this and then cutting this here once and then also having a cut for the sleeve, you know, it's whatever you want to do with it. But you can't do it unless you know how to do this Raglan sleeve thing. And you know, I found out a long time ago, finding out the really intricate methodical way to do it is a lot differently than just kind of winging it and, you know, doing it how you want to do it, because it looks so much more crisp and like you did it on purpose this way. Whereas if you do it the other way, it looks kind of like, okay, I see where they were going with it, but, and if you've had that reaction, you know how frustrating it is for people to not really be able to understand your garment. So anyway, that's a little background for me. That's about it. And like I said, I should be giving you the details to this later on. So I'll talk to you later.